Hi, I'm Mark, and welcome to the weekly Outside Views report on British politics. Well, dancing, drinking, and making fun of the corona rules. That's a video showing lockdown violations by British Conservatives that made headlines in Great Britain over the last weekend. The 45-second clip, which the tabloid The Mirror published on Saturday evening, shows people celebrating at a time when this was not allowed. A dancing couple spins and nearly crashes into the buffet, and several are seen with wine glasses and beer bottles. And there are signs on the walls asking for social distancing to be observed. And a conversation can be heard in the background. "Are you filming this?" someone asks. And finally, a man says, "As long as we don't stream how we are breaking the rules." It is said to be pictures of a Christmas party for Conservative campaigners in December 2020. The party was organized by then Conservative mayoral candidate Sean Bailey. Photos of it were already known, but so far have not led to criminal consequences. According to the Mirror report, that could change now. The Metropolitan Police, who have already imposed more than 100 fines for illegal celebrations in London's government district, want to check whether investigations are being initiated now. At the time, strict rules on contact restrictions in the corona pandemic applied there, and people from different households were not allowed to meet indoors. And someone was fined there as well, and this video comes at a bad time for the person, especially this ex-Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Britain Trump, that's what Donald Trump gave this nickname to the then British Prime Minister Boris Johnson during his time as US President. And for a long time, commentators in the UK dismissed the comparison between populists on both sides of the Atlantic. But now, many are coming to the conclusion that the two probably have more in common than just an eccentric hairstyle. And the reason is, since the conclusion of the parliamentary investigation into his statements in the so-called Partygate scandal about banned celebrations during the corona pandemic, which exposed him as a notorious liar, Johnson has been spreading conspiracy theories similar to Trump's. The committee responsible consists mainly of Brexit opponents, he said, after the publication of the report, which was quite devastating for him. All a witch hunt to keep him out of power and reverse Britain's exit from the EU. The former Conservative Party and government leader forestalled the committee's recommended suspension from Parliament by resigning from office himself. Johnson might have kept it though, and the temporary ban from the House of Commons would have meant that he would have had to face the voters again in West London. But the former mayor of the capital apparently did not want to take this risk and stand for a by-election. Instead, he presented himself as the victim of an intrigue by Brexit opponents and personal enemies within his own party. I talked about the victim stance on Brexiteer sides this morning already. And he denounced the committee of inquiry into his Partygate lies as kangaroo court. And according to former Tory Minister Roy Stewart, behind this is an attempt to turn the Conservative Party into Trump's Republicans. But it gives the impression that Johnson can no longer gather too many party colleagues behind him. Only a squad of incorrigible Brexit fanatics such as Jacob Rees-Mogg, known for his whimsical statements, stood behind him. What Johnson is left with is the ability to lash out at rivals in the comment columns of Conservative papers. And the Daily Mail announced a new scholarly columnist last week whose identity is still a secret. Well, unsurprisingly, it was Johnson, of course. With a new job, however, he was immediately reprimanded for not reporting to the committee that oversees standards of conduct for former government officials. But what are rules for Boris Johnson? And Johnson's charm no longer appeals to his compatriots as it once did. According to a survey, only 17% see him in a positive light. 62% now have a negative opinion of the glorious winner of the last parliamentary election in 2019. And the rest seem neutrally or stated that they have no opinion. There have long been many who are calling for an end to the constant circling about the ex-Prime Minister's latest capers. After all, there are much more important issues, such as interest rates on real estate loans or mortgages, which have risen again, or the poor state of the health system. Well, the Boris show, as some call it, is still not over yet. I'm sure about this. And so all those important topics will once again be covered by the Johnson soap opera, and I will tune in, I can tell you. But if you want to tune in to some other news from around the world, the next video is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.